Hi everyone! I thought today we would do a fun one brand tutorial, but creating a fall look. So you can see I have my fall shirt on and I've got my fall nails going here. I love fall. It is my favorite time of the year. I am going to do a little bit of an old-fashioned voiceover type of video today, but I hope you enjoy it, and let's just jump right into it. We're going to start off with the L'Oreal Prime Lab. This is up to 24-hour pore minimizer. I like this one because it has a really nice feel to it. It's not like a real slippy kind of primer, but I find it does a nice job of minimizing my pores, especially where I have them in my right by my nose area or my largest pores. And I try and put it right where my wrinkles are on my forehead and down around my mouth area. This does come in 3 different other types. But I just prefer the pore minimizer. And I do a little bit of extra right around my mouth area where I have those lines coming down, my marionette lines, and I just find it fills in the little area there where the foundation sometimes can settle. Now we're giving that primer time to sit on the face and settle in. We're going to go in with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. I have this one in the shade Brunette. I like this one because it's very precise. It has that really ultra fine tip, and the spoolie is pretty decent. It's a nice soft spoolie. But this really does get right in there and grab all of those little hairs, settles them down. I don't do a lot to my brows. I just try and follow my natural hairline, and instead of going straight down on my tail there, I try and feather it out a little bit so it doesn't look so defined. I find it will drag my eye down if I put it right down my face. But it makes such a difference when you do your eyebrows. It really frames the face up. So that's just the one side done. So look at what a difference it makes. So I always like to do my eyebrows first. Without question, L'Oreal has some of my most used foundations. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to mix 2 of them together. I find one has a little bit more of a shine to it, and the one has a little bit more of a, gives me more of like a dewier look. So I'm just mixing them together. One is runnier than the other. That's the Infallible. That one is a little bit on the runnier side. But I find this gives me such a beautiful look to the skin by mixing them together. They're beautiful by themselves as well, but I just find mixing them together gives me just a really healthy looking appearance. And we're going to go in with the BK Beauty 106 foundation brush and just buff it all in. I do find the combination of the 2 products gives me I'm going to say like a medium look. It's not like a full coverage, but I'm going to say more like a medium coverage. Always make sure to run it down your neck area so everything looks seamless. And then I take my sponge and just make sure everything is blended out. There's no brush strokes or anything like that, and everything looks pretty smooth and evened out. These are really lightweight formulas, both of them. It never looks cakey on my skin. You see, it's more of, like I said, more of a medium coverage. You can still see my natural skin poking through. Now I have 2 concealers by L'Oreal, and one of them does not work very well under my eyes. It is way too dry. So we're going to go in instead with the True Match. This is the eye cream in a concealer. So I really like this one. It gives me some pretty decent coverage. It just comes in like a squeezy tube, so not, you know, the best kind of application. I prefer a wand, but it does its job. Put just a little dot, that's all I need for both eyes. But this has a little bit of hyaluronic acid in it, and that really does help my under eye. Even though I have used eye cream, I really like that it has that little bit of hyaluronic acid in it, so that makes my under eye area look super smooth. I'm also going to use it just as my eyeshadow primer today. I'm going to go in with the Angie 8506. This is the concealer brush. Super soft concealer brush. This is one of the best ones out there. I think it's called, the nickname is like the kitten paw, but very, very soft. It blends the concealer in. And I just try and blend it all the way out. It's not streaky. My under eye area never looks cakey. And like I said, pretty decent coverage. It's not full coverage. It does hide up that darkness I have under my eyes. So nice coverage. Now, because I don't like seeing products go to waste, because I've spent my own money on these items, I do use this concealer to cover up my hyperpigmentation on my cheeks. This is one of those concealers that you can use like as an all over your face concealer instead of using foundation, if that's your preference. So I just put it where I have that darkness, and then I just blend it in with my sponge. And it does a very, very good job of covering those spots up. And it blends in, like you can't see it after I've blended it in. So look, you can see right how it's done a nice job of that. I find that L'Oreal is one of the things that they don't have a lot of eyeshadows. So what I'm going to do today is use my Infallible bronzer, and I'm going to use that as my eyeshadow base. I'm going to go with my BK Beauty 201. This is just a fluffy eyeshadow brush. And I actually do this a lot. I use my bronzers, whatever, it doesn't particularly have to be this bronzer, but I do use several of my other bronzers as just my eyeshadow. And especially for a fall look, I want that nice deep warmth of like a brown shade. This bronzer does that job. I do have this one in the shade Light Medium. And it is a matte formula, so there isn't going to be any sparkles or anything like that. This is also a waterproof formula. Let's see how it just gives a beautiful coverage. Takes away any of that redness and stuff that I have on my eyes. I want to go ahead and deepen up that eyeshadow a little bit, so I'm going to go in with the Age Perfect. This is just their cream eyeshadow. I have a few different shades, but I really liked this one. It's like a dark plum shade, and I thought that would be perfect for fall. And it's just gorgeous. It looks darker on my skin than it actually applies to my eye. So I'm just going to use my finger. I don't usually use a brush with this one, but you can if you want. I just prefer my finger, and I find it just deposits the product more evenly. And it's not a, like I said, like not a dark shade. This one in particular gives like an iridescent kind of glow. It's very pretty. I like this one. You can certainly build it up if you wanted to do more of like a smoky eye. But I'm just trying to keep it really subtle today. So this is where we're going to brighten things up a little bit. This is the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow. It's like a glittery type of, I'm not going to say glittery, more of a shimmer. I have this one in the shade Amber Rush. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous gold. This would be beautiful for like also like a Christmas look. So you may see this coming up in another video, but it's lovely. I love using it just with my fingertips. And it really adheres to that cream eyeshadow that I just put on. So the combination of the two is just gorgeous together. I like putting it on the inner corner of my eye. I find it really brightens my eye area up. And it gives your eyes more of like a wide open appearance. So I did have to find another eyeliner to replace my Lipliner. They no longer make that one. So I went with the Infallible. This is the gel mechanical liner. So I guess this was to replace the Lipliner. This one I have in the shade, this is Brown Denim. And I use this one pretty much every day to do my tight lining. It's a great pencil. I don't find it has a lot of transfer onto my bottom waterline. But I really find it helps fill in my lashes, gives it a bit of fullness. You can see on the one side I definitely have done that eye, and the other eye is not done. but I always, always, always tight line. So those are the two lines, two eyes done together. And now I'm just putting a little bit on above my lash line. I do it as close to the lash line as I can. I don't like to have a really thick line across my eye. I like more subtle. And this is very creamy formula. It doesn't tug on my eye at all. And I like it's a mechanical pencil, so you just twist it up. Let's see how it's just very, very close to the lash line. And then I'm taking the BK Beauty 204 brush. This is a really nice definer brush. And I'm taking a bit of that bronzer that I put on my upper lash or my upper eyelid. And I'm running that under my lash line. I always have to have a little bit of something under my lashes. That's my preference. I know a lot of people don't like putting something under their eye, but that's just kind of my thing. But you don't have to. We're going to go in with the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift. This is one of their newer mascaras. You know, I'm a huge fan of L'Oreal mascaras. I pretty much have every single one of their mascaras. I will say the only downfall, I did a whole first impression of this one. The only downfall I think with this mascara, and this is just my preference, is I'm not a big fan of the wands that are prickly. I have a tendency to sometimes stab myself in the eye, which is not the greatest feeling. So I'm not a big fan, like I said, of the prickly kind of wands. And then I do have to switch the wand around because it's a two-sided wand. So again, I don't sometimes like to put a lot of thought into my mascaras, but this one does a nice job of the lengthening, the volumizing. And that's just the one side done. So I just wanted to show you that before I go ahead and finish off my other eye. It's a very nice formula. It is a little bit on the liquidy side. Off camera, I just quickly did my other eye and I applied some lashes. So now we're going to actually use my bronzer for what it's supposed to be and use it as a bronzer. So this is the Soft Matte. This is called a Finish Waterproof Bronzer. As I mentioned before, I do have this in the shade Light Medium. And I went ahead and used my BK Beauty 102 fluffy bronzer brush. This is such an incredible brush for applying bronzer. It just diffuses the product and there's never any harsh lines. It gives a really softness. You can see on my cheeks, it's a very soft look. I always run it down my neck just to everything is cohesive. But this is a great bronzer. You don't need a lot of it. Very pigmented. Now this next product I'm super excited to try out. So this is brand new. I have not even opened it yet. It's the Infallible Fresh Wear Blush. So this is newer to their brand. I just got it recently here in Canada, but super soft. Oh my goodness, when I was making the swatch, I couldn't believe how cushiony it felt. And that is extremely pigmented. That I barely touched it with my fingers. I'm going to use the Rephr, the 37 bronzer brush. You can use this for all sorts of different types of powders. And I'm just putting a little bit on because I know that this is going to be quite pink. Oh, I forgot to tell you, it is in the shade Fearless Coral. And that is so pretty, but oh my goodness, I'm thinking, oh no, am I going to be able to blend this in? It really, really adhered to my skin. So if that ever happens to you guys, my suggestion is I just grab my sponge and I blend it in. And you shouldn't have any issues after you try use your sponge. It usually blends it in quite nicely. But I was so shocked. It does come in several other shades, but I just wanted to try the coral shade. It looks so, so pretty. And you can see how gentle I am putting it on. It is I was so surprised. This brush does a great job of blending in any sort of powders you have, and even some liquids and creams. But this blush definitely blew me away, and I was extremely happy with it. It's a good one. So L'Oreal doesn't really have a dedicated highlighter. So I'm going to go in with the True Match Lumi Glotion. What I love about this is you can use it as a multi-purpose kind of product. You can add this to foundation if you want more of a glowier foundation. You can put it under your foundation if you want more of a glowy appearance, but don't want to mix it in. And then you can also just, what I'm going to be doing is using it as my highlighter. And I'm going to use the BK Beauty 113 brush. But I like this one. It's really subtle, and because it's a liquid, it doesn't settle into my fine lines, especially around my eye area. It just enhances your cheekbone. It's a really, really nice product. Blends in beautifully and just kind of gives you like a healthy looking appearance. I always make sure to do my nose as well, and just on my Cupid's bow. So I have been using this lip liner non-stop. It is the L'Oreal Color Rich Matte in the shade Matte's It. And I forgot to mention, I'll have all the products linked and listed down below for you guys. It is a gorgeous shade. It goes with pink colors, it goes with nude colors, and so much so I went and purchased another one as a backup. It is a pencil that you do have to sharpen. Like, it's not mechanical. But I am in love. I have been wearing this continuously. The formula is great. I always fill in my whole entire lip, and I find that really helps my lipstick stay on longer through the day. But it's a super soft pencil. My lipstick doesn't bleed at all, and there's no tugging on my lips. This lipstick gave me fall vibes. It's the Color Rich Intense Volume Matte lipstick. I love the slimness of it. It is a bullet lipstick. Isn't that a gorgeous shade? It's in the shade Indomitable, but I love how precise it is. It's little, and it has a little bit of hyaluronic acid in it. It does say it's supposed to be 16-hour wear, but I don't get 16-hour wear out of it. I get probably about a good 6-7 hours out of it. But very creamy, and even though it's a matte lipstick, I find it is not overly drying. I do like to apply a little bit of gloss. So this is the Glow Paradise Lip Balm in a Gloss. I have this in the shade Pristine Pink. It's very, very pretty. It's very nourishing. And for a gloss, it actually does last a little bit longer than other glosses I find. I just apply it in the center of my lips, and I find it gives an illusion of fullness. Now, if you want a product that's a little bit more subtle, this is the Glow Paradise lipstick in a balm, or balm in a lipstick, I should say. I have this one in the shade Nude Heaven. It's very nourishing on the lips. It has more of a sheer look to it. I'm not going to apply it because I already have that one other one on. It does have several different shades. I just like this one because I like nude shades. And then one of their newer products is, I just had it actually in one of my recent videos. This is a liquid lipstick, and I find it does last. It's liquid, so it is going to last a little bit longer. I love my swatching. Look at my swatching skills. It's awesome. But it's very, very good. I love this one. So I'm really happy with how the whole look turned out. I love these fall vibes. All the products, as I mentioned, will be linked and listed down below. If you haven't already, I would love for you to consider subscribing to my channel. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy this sort of content. And as always, I hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!